Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Valentine. Nice to cross paths with you. I hope this finds you well. Today, I am watching the 2016 film Arrival. The only thing I know about it is the poster I saw. I took a cursory glance at the poster. It stars Amy Adams, who was in Talladega Nights, Shake and Bake, and one of the criminally underrated Paul Thomas Anderson films, The Master. I appreciate my Patreon member, V-Dubs, for choosing this film for me to watch today. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, you're doing the best thing by sharing your time with me and watching me watch this, and I appreciate you, and that cannot be expressed sufficiently into words. But without further ado, let's tap into this sci-fi oriented movie, 2016, The Arrival. Or is it Arrival? I digress. Let's go.
I used to think this was the beginning of your story. Memory is a strange thing. It doesn't work like I thought it did.
The hippocampus is a doozy.
We are so bound by time, by its order.
We're already laying the foundation of the emotional core of the film. I respect that.
Stick 'em up.
Are you the sheriff in this here town?
A tender portraiture.
I remember moments in the middle.
I love you. I hate you.
Teenage angst, am I right?
And this was the end.
No, not to start the movie.
Back to me. You come back to me.
Tragedy ensues at the outset. All right.
But now I'm not so sure I believe in beginnings and endings. There are days that define your story beyond your life, like the day they arrived.
There are key moments in your life that are extremely formative and pivotal.
Dr. Banks, can you turn the TV to a news channel?
This movie's gonna keep me on my toes. I'm already buckled up because of her daughter's death.
Unfortunately, Montana right now is on complete lockdown.
The object apparently touched down 40 minutes ago just north of I-94. We're waiting to hear if this is perhaps an experimental vessel or...
The object, Stanley Kubrick's The Monolith. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
This is worldwide. It is happening right now.
Oh, man.
Okay. Sir, class is dismissed.
Talk about setting off some alarms. Whatever was being shown on TV was showcasing pandemonium. Mysterious object touched down, causing the society to be put on lockdown. Here we go. Here we go.
We're still collecting information. We're coordinating with other countries. We are not the only ones to have one of these in our backyard.
Yo.
This is some sort of peaceful first contact. Why send 12? Why not just one?
That is a sound question. We are in need of geopolitical unity because this is the stuff of nightmares.
So far, there are 12 unidentified objects spread across the globe. No obvious logic to their location.
That if it is a kind of vessel, it may be unmanned. Regardless, we have a protocol for scenarios like this.
Hey, that's horrifying. More questions than answers. Needless to say, things are not serene on the planet Earth at this juncture.
We never formally met, but 2 years ago you did some Farsi translations for Army intelligence.
One Forrest Whitaker.
You are on the top of everyone's list when it comes to translations. And you have another 2 years in the SSBI. So you still have top secret clearance. Guess why I'm in your office, not at Berkeley.
Okay.
I have something I need you to translate for me.
She's just the woman for the job.
Why are you here? Can you understand us?
Now you heard it. What do you make of it?
Do tell.
How many, speaking?
Two. Assume they were not speaking at the same time.
Are you sure? Did they have mouths?
So how would you approach translating this? Do you hear any words? Phrases?
I guess he doesn't like the Socratic method.
I don't know.
So what can you tell me?
It's impossible to translate from an audio file. I would need to be there to interact with them.
I'm not taking you to Montana.
I'm just telling you what it would take to do this job.
You think she's just trying to get a looky-loo? I think she's a translator worth her salt. Yo. That is hella imposing. I can't even fathom being on the scene looking at that. So that is definitely 2001: A Space Odyssey's monolith there. That's the framework of this movie. And I'm intrigued because I feel like they're going to take it in a unique direction.
So is there any physical contact with the, am I the only one having trouble saying aliens?
There's a wall, like a glass wall. You can't get to them.
No one wants to say aliens. It's like he who must not be named. Voldemort. He appears right here. This is redolent of, what was that Natalie Portman movie? Annihilation? Or do I have my wires crossed? I wonder.
It's a clumsy at first, but you get used to them. We'll be there in a few minutes. Make sure you hold on to something.
This line of work takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, I reckon. It's ominously hovering a few feet from the ground. Heebie-jeebies activated. Every 18 hours, this door opens up. My interest is piqued. Peak Davidson.
Dr. Donnelly, you good?
No, he's chill, but this is a hypnotic, spellbinding sequence here. This is a watershed moment because they left everything, their whole paradigm has shifted. Everything they knew is at the bottom of this object. This is a sneakily brilliant sound design that perfectly complements this scene here. Because I'm creeped out in anticipation. Oh, whoa, Nelson. Oh!
Dr. Banks.
Oh.
You can start.
Oh, what is that frightening silhouette? What shape is that taking? Pray tell.
In North Dakota, 144 members of the St. Lawrence Pentecostal cult are feared dead. They set their compound ablaze. Claims the arrival of the alien set in motion a prophecy that 12 sets of 12 should...
Yo, that is scarily accurate, dude. They saw it as providence. Like, oh, it's time to drink the Kool-Aid, baby. Time to drink the Kool-Aid.
Look, I'm never going to be able to speak their words if they are talking. But they might have some sort of written language or basis for visual communication.
Got to employ some kind of differing stratagem than they've hitherto been employing.
Human.
Jeez, Luis, she's intrepid. Oh! No, dude. What is happening? What are they performing? A Rorschach test? Because I'm about to have a Freudian slip. I'm trying to make out like what that figure looks like. It's like a mix between a centaur and something arachnid.
Everything you're doing there, I have to explain to a room full of men whose first and last question is how can this be used against us? So you're gonna have to give me more than that.
Kangaroo. In 1707, Captain James Cook's ship ran aground off the coast of Australia, and he led a party into the country, and they met the Aboriginal people. If the sailors pointed at the animals that hop around and put their babies in their pouch, and he asked what they were, and the Aborigines said, kangaroo. It wasn't until later that they learned that kangaroo means I don't understand. I need this so that we don't misinterpret things in there, otherwise this is going to take 10 times as long.
I can sell that for now.
You gotta establish the basis of understanding.
But I need you to submit your vocabulary words before the next session. And remember what happened to the Aborigines. A more advanced race nearly wiped them out.
I hate to say it, but you're historically sound there, Colonel.
It's not true, but it proves my point.
Oh, so she has taken a few improv classes, huh? Second City. She's like, let's throw anything, see what sticks. And that hokum, that malarkey, played well. That's funny. That's uproarious.
Problem is, not everyone shares our policy of being open with the aliens. Have you met General Shang? The call sign for him is Big Domino. Whatever Shang does, at least 4 other nations will follow.
Luis, you have to gain ground today.
He's a leader of influence. Hopefully he won't influence a Taiwanese attack. No. I'm apolitical.
Yeah, so that we can learn their names if they have names and then introduce pronouns later.
These are all grade school words. Eat, walk. Help me understand.
You gotta crawl before you walk, Colonel. Colonel Weber, if memory serves.
Okay, this is where you want to get to, right? So, first we need to make sure that they understand what a question is. The nature of a request for information along with the response. We need to clarify the difference between a specific you and a collective you. And purpose requires an understanding of intent. We need to find out, do they make conscious choices, or is their motivation so instinctive that they don't understand a why question at all? And biggest of all, we need to have enough vocabulary with them that we understand their answer.
This has a lot of far-reaching implications just for life in general, but specifically to this movie. Deconstruction of language. Making something mean to you roughly what it means to me. It's beautiful. Beautiful narrative approach.
Louise, I am Louise.
Why am I thinking one of these times they're gonna release dementors from their appendages, their hands?
Is that a new symbol? I can't tell.
I don't know. I think it's a symbol for human again. Maybe to indicate a question. I don't know.
Louise. I think they're getting confused.
Dr. Banks?
Oh! It's a hell of a choice, Dr. Banks.
She's taking off her headmaster, Dr. Banks.
She didn't run this choice up the flagpole, huh?
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks. Dr. Banks. She's walking toward the screen.
She's establishing her bona fides.
Should we aboard? Go back to your stations.
Ooh, I like that shot right there. It's visually pleasing, if not ominous. Oh. Well, how do you do? Gotta hand it to you.
Now that's a proper introduction.
Nice to make your acquaintance.
Ian, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Louise.
Screw it. Everybody dies, right?
Solidarity. Unity of purpose.
Permission to abort?
Continue the session.
Ian.
Louise. You.
Mr. Valentine. frightened.
I think those are their names.
What in the hieroglyph is transpiring right now?
So what are we gonna call them? I was thinking Abbott and Costello.
But that begs the question, who's on first?
I like it.
Wow.
The level of intrigue and enigma and mystery this movie has right now is spectacular, I must confess, because I'm invested 10 toes down in this movie and the outcome of it. There's a little visual symmetry there. Those two scenes are echoing each other.
Here are some of the many things we don't know about heptapods. Greek, hepta 7, pod, foot, 7 feet, heptapod. Who are they? Trying to answer this in any meaningful way is hampered by the fact that outside being able to see them and hear them, the heptapods leave absolutely no footprint.
Yeah, what? A beautifully elusive object.
How do they communicate? Here, Louise is putting us all to shame. The first breakthrough was to discover that there's no correlation between what a heptapod says and what a heptapod writes.
I respect a properly placed voiceover from time to time. Best example being Goodfellas.
Unlike all written human languages, their writing is semisiographic. It conveys meaning, it doesn't represent sound. Perhaps they view our form of writing as a wasted opportunity, passing up a second communications channel.
A peon language, looking down on us with a contempt, moralizing. Look at these puny humans.
Because unlike speech, a logogram is free of time. Like their ship or their bodies, their written language has no forward or backward direction. Linguists call this nonlinear orthography, which raises the question, is this how they think?
Ooh.
Imagine you wanted to write a sentence using two hands starting from either side. You would have to know each word you wanted to use, as well as how much space that it would occupy. A heptapod can write a complex sentence in 2 seconds, effortlessly. It's taken us a month to make the simplest reply.
Oh, man.
Expanding vocabulary. Louise thinks it could easily take another month to be ready for that.
To say that they are in possession of an advanced language would be an understatement. This is giving my brain a massage here. The storytelling and the imaginative nature of this plot here.
Nice out here, huh? You know, I was just thinking about you.
Expound?
You approach language like a mathematician, you know that, right? Watch you steer us around these communication traps that I didn't even know existed. I guess that's why I'm single.
Trust me, you can understand communication and still end up single.
He's shooting his shot. He's shooting his shot. Let the record show I'm single, Dr. Banks. Not for nothing. Not for nothing.
I feel like everything that happens in there comes down to the two of us.
It's a good thing, though, right? You and I?
Just the two of us. We can figure out these hectopods if we try. Help. Help.
Tonight, the first photograph of the aliens goes viral. Biological contamination is a major risk factor at the Montana site, so say environmental pressure groups.
That's what they want you to think.
First contact with whoever it is that is inside that thing, and who do we have running the show? The government. The same government who ruined our healthcare and bankrupted our military. We could be facing a full-scale invasion, and our president is just willing to sit back and let them waltz in and take our country. Falling asleep at the wheel, people. You know what I'm talking about? I know you do.
If the government didn't have such a strong and storied history of misleading its constituents, the society wouldn't bat an eye or think twice about believing what y'all have to say about this predicament. But alas, there are innumerable examples which I will not pursue right here at this moment.
The Earth is a planet.
Want to see my project from Miss Garriott's class?
Yeah, little nose.
These flashbacks with her daughter are piercing me through my soul right now.
We had to make up our own TV show, if we had one.
And who are those two people?
That's you and Dad. The show was called Mommy and Daddy Talk to Animals.
No, it's lovely.
Agony. Agonizing. Oh, memory. It's a gift and a curse.
You know it's okay to be sad that your dad
I
and
know. I'm not.
We both love you very much.
I know. It's just a cartoon. Not real.
Louise?
Such pathos and immediacy drawing us into this character, Louise Banks here.
I'm not sure it's something I can explain.
When was your last checkup with Dr. Candler?
I'm okay. Let me get some air. Okay.
Is she experiencing emotional radiation from this object here? Or is there no correlation between her interaction with this species and her feeling this way towards her daughter? The silence of these shots in concert with the content is making me feel vulnerable.
How you feeling?
I need some sleep, but I'm fine.
Oh, hebatutinous are we?
You know, I was doing some reading about this idea that if you immerse yourself into a foreign language, that you can actually rewire your brain.
Yes, Wurf. Hypothesis.
Neurogenesis, anybody? Or is it neuroplasticity?
I mean, I've had a few dreams, but I don't think that makes me unfit to do this job.
Oh! Good morning, America. Oh, the Cotby. I did not expect that.
An hour ago, China mobilized forces, and now Russia's following suit. Shang's about to start something.
Are you about to attack preemptively? I mean, I understand the impulse, but is it prudent?
Well, let's say that I taught them chess instead of English. Every conversation would be a game, every idea expressed through opposition. Victory, defeat, you see the problem. If all I ever gave you was a hammer.
Everything's a nail.
I am apprehensive at the implications. Oh, wait. I feel like this film deserves more love because I rarely hear it talked about on a wide scale, unless, you know, it's just not in my orbit. Maybe you all have, but I have not. And this is phenomenal. I don't like the way that descended there, dude. It gives me goosebumps.
We don't know if they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool. Our language, like our culture, is messy, and sometimes one can be both.
And it's quite possible that they're asking us to offer them something.
Something's lost in translation. Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, that our visitors are prodding us to fight among ourselves until only one faction prevails.
There's no evidence of that.
Sure there is. Just grab a history book. The British with India, the Germans with Rwanda. They even got a name for it in Hungary.
Divide and conquer. A ploy as old as time itself.
What did they say? China and Russia are off the grid. They aren't speaking to anyone. Whatever they learned in their last session has them spooked.
Oh, they went radio silent. They're leery.
Just to do the same.
Wait, these are our allies.
Colonel, you can't shut us down. Put us on radio silence.
The message from the we need to be talking to each other.
You want to talk to them? Find out what this means.
If you are under the impression that they're trying to divide and conquer you, wow, it feels like they're playing into their hands here. They're giving them what they want, creating barriers between countries who should be allies at a time like this.
This is the alien message said to have provoked the Chinese government to withdraw their scientists from the international mission today. General Shang said, China no longer trusts the aliens who want to divide us. Humanity must be protected. China has asked for immediate talks at the UN.
Terrifying, man, because like I can see how that bearing fruit or being true to how the situation would really play out. Because everybody has the same objective, protect humanity, but they got different ways of getting at it. Oh, here we go. Demolition? No. Oh, there's no way this is not gonna backfire, right? There's no way. I do not foresee any other outcome. Don't try to blow up this thing who's hovering, emitting no radiation, and has technology the likes of which we've never seen. But yeah, let's do a little C12. C4.
Okay, that's it. Look, we just need to hold momentum, load up and get to cover. Stay frosty and we can avoid casualties.
Oh, I feel like we are gravitating towards something cataclysmic.
Abby wants me to write on the barrier.
Can you even do that?
I don't know.
This is so captivating because the movie is picking up velocity.
You can't do it with both hands.
Are these aliens empaths? There's no way that these aliens are not privy to this countdown. Y'all be fooling yourselves if you think they're not keeping themselves abreast to your strategy. Breast. Oh.
What is that?
Oh, the humanity. Okay. That was a benevolent act towards Louise and Ian here.
Take it easy. You suffered a concussion. Just lay back. How do you feel?
Like my life had been saved. What the ramifications are leaving my mind reeling.
Where's Ian?
Whoever came and got him maybe 10 minutes ago. He wouldn't leave until he knew you were okay.
Aww.
We need to go back in and we need to explain to them that this wasn't our fault.
We can't
have
go
to
back
tell them-
inside.
We have to.
What happened in there was an attack. We can hope for the best, but I have orders to prepare for retaliation. We may have to evacuate.
No, that's the wrong move. As long as they stay, we have to stay.
I have a sneaking suspicion that we should listen to Dr. Banks here. Not only because she's our protagonist, but because of the interior logic of the film.
Well, they're not leaving.
That is unsettling. It's bringing me no small amounts of disquiet.
China has confirmed that its language experts have tonight delivered an ultimatum. In a televised statement, General Shang said the aliens have 24 hours to leave Chinese territory or face destruction.
Threatening an alien in this manner is asinine. Well, this is rather mesmerizing. What in the purgatory limbo have we stumbled upon here? She's in whatever the opposite of the sunken place is. This is a magnificent execution of the script. I have to read this screenplay. Who directed this? Who wrote this? Because the aesthetic feels familiar. Thing's a behemoth.
Where's Abbott?
Oh, a little narrative symmetry.
I'm sorry. We're sorry.
My condolences.
I need you to send a message to the other sites. What is your purpose here?
That is music to my ears. But define help. Define it.
How can you know the future?
The prevailing question.
I don't understand. Who is this child?
The show is called Mommy and Daddy Talk to Animals.
Oh, that is ingenious. Oh, that's exquisite. That's exquisite.
No, wait!
Put the pieces of the puzzle together, Louise. Mommy and Daddy talk to animals. And that dovetails perfectly to what we need at this juncture. Oh.
What happened?
Trying to figure it out. This is too big.
Doesn't matter now.
Invariably, there will be a blanket wrapped around you, whether you fell in water or not. Something about that is maybe emotionally comforting.
Help me, Mama. Mom, are you gonna leave me like Daddy did?
Hannah, honey, your daddy didn't leave you. You're gonna see him this weekend.
He doesn't look at me the same way anymore.
It's precocious, emotionally precocious child.
It's my fault. I told him something that he wasn't ready to hear.
What?
I know something that's going to happen. I can't explain how I know, I just do. And when I told your daddy, he got really mad. And he said I made the wrong choice.
Elaborate. But can a child handle it?
What's going to happen?
It has to do with a really rare disease, and it's unstoppable. Kind of like you are. Your swimming, and your poetry, and all the other amazing things that you share with the world.
I am unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable. This is a scintillating performance in narrative execution.
I just realized why my husband left me. My husband left me.
You were married?
Because she presaged, she predicted her daughter's death, an unstoppable disease. Husband said, "You made the wrong choice." That is an arresting turn of events. I am riveted.
Mama, why's my name Hannah?
Your name is very special because it is a palindrome. It reads the same forward and backward.
Just like mom, just like dad, or wow. They release information at just the right moment in this movie as we peel back the layer of this narrative onion. The layers. Oh. That's fantastic. That is fan-freaking-tastic.
The weapon is their language. They gave it all to us. If you learn it, when you really learn it, you begin to perceive time the way that they do. You can see what's to come. Time, it isn't the same for them. It's non-linear.
Oh, this is mind-blowing. Inconceivably mind-blowing.
The only reason why I'm here is to meet you in person.
To have you grace me with your presence.
18 months ago, you did something remarkable. Something not even my superior has done.
What's that?
You changed my mind. You're the reason for this unification. All because you reached out to me on my private number.
Your private number, General. I don't know your private number.
Whatsoever do you mean, General?
Now you know. I do not claim to know how your mind works, but I believe it was important for you to see that.
I called you, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. This is stimulating here. Because once you think critically enough, this movie is positing, you're able to perceive time in like a holistic way and more or less objective.
There's a sat line here dialing China. Here? What do you mean here? Whose phone is it?
Oh, the one, the only, the inimitable Dr. Louise Banks. So that leads me to question whether that scene we just saw is both the present and the future, or was that depicting a soiree of a past event?
I will never forget what you said.
This is incredible. This is freaking incredible.
You told me my wife's dying words. Cheats the 以宁平智用智。
他受你名拼智啊！
Found the source of the phone call. It's in the clean room. Waiting for instructions.
Oh, they got their barrels aimed.
Drop the phone now or we shoot.
真正不成就英雄。
Shoot first, ask questions later? Question mark?
You are committing an act of treason. Drop it!
It's done. I'm done.
This is astonishing. Movie making, this is astonishing.
General Shang, Commander-in-Chief of the People's Liberation Army, has announced in an emergency press conference China is standing down.
China is stating that all intelligence they have received.
Louise Banks is the liaison, the intermediary between these sides. She's preventing destruction. I'm trying to work out the mechanics of this story here. And this movie's doing a brilliant job of setting the tone and eliciting a mood for me, emotionally and mentally. Oh, that is supremely majestic. And I don't throw the word majestic around willy-nilly.
Despite knowing the journey and where it leads, I embrace it. And I welcome every moment of it.
Ain't that the truth?
H-A-N-N-A-H.
Bravo. Brava.
A-N-N-A-H.
Hannah.
Daddy.
Oh, Father.
You okay?
Such bravura this movie is exuding in spades. I'm trying to digest this revelation, but I can't. It pleases me.
If you could see your whole life from start to finish, would you change things?
Maybe I'd say what I feel more often. I don't know.
This is an ineffably invigorating film. I feel invigorated.
You know, I've had my head tilted up to the stars for as long as I can remember. You know what surprised me the most? It wasn't meeting them. It was meeting you.
Dr. Ian, the romantic Donnelly. He has charisma.
I forgot how good it felt to be held by you.
Mommy,
You want to make a baby?
So when she said, "Who is this child?" the flashbacks, she had no concrete recollection, but in a sense, in a metaphysical sense. Color my noodle baked. This just baked my noodle. Arrival. That is marvelous. Good on you, Arrival. Oh, Dennis Villa. Oh, I can't say his last name, but I recognize his oeuvre. He did the Dune films, right? That's why that aesthetic felt familiar. All right, ladies and gents. That is 2016's Arrival. And that is mind-bending. And that was so metaphysically rich. Such a philosophical approach to storytelling. And creative and imaginative that I am not even going to try right now to articulate the mechanics or the ramifications of the the story itself. It's like the movie Gravity meets 2001, A Space Odyssey meets Nope, even though Jordan Peele's Nope came after. And The Watchers. Did y'all see M. Night Shyamalan's The Watchers? Got released this year. It's all, those movies are in conversation with each other. And this is why I watch film, because they are in dialogue. Films made 50, 60 years apart are having a conversation about the nature of humanity and existence. Namely, the metaphysical aspect of humanity. And I am a fan of this film, dude. And like I said throughout the movie, I don't understand how this isn't getting the fanfare it deserves. And I recognize this brilliance halfway through. In its exploration of language, we meet Louise Banks, and she's a professor of language, and she's an expert, proper. And she's a bona fide language expert who, when the crap hits the fan, the government comes knocking at her door. Not unlike the heptapods knocking on that barrier there. And she's just what the doctor ordered. When these 12 objects land on various parts of the earth, it's up to her to decipher and try to articulate to the government and herself and these creatures the meaning of the universe and the importance of language, to try to make something mean to me loosely what it means to you. Deconstruction, the semiotics of it all. And that's a universal. It's universal. That has universal value, that concept there. Because, on the surface, what I'm saying, the words that we use to communicate are just sounds our vocal cords emit. But what lies behind the words and that transference of information from person to person, from being to being, from epoch, era to era, is mystifying and magic. Language is magic, dude. And it struck me as significant and really enriching when they were speaking on how language determines how you think. And when Dr. Banks was speaking with Dr. Donnelly, talking about, are you dreaming in their language? And that was a dream in itself. And it's just so captivating. An alien race coming here to save us from ourselves and to offer kind of like a non-zero sum game, mutually beneficial action, be it now or however many years in the future, in which this movie is positing the exploration. This movie is positing that time is more or less malleable, flexible. And the more you delve deeper into language, the more you can zoom out and see the forest and not just the trees. Because that's what the geopolitical commentary this movie is telling us. It's observing that while we're dealing with our petty quarrels of, power dynamics and, materialism and capitalism, and trying to best each other in the hierarchy, this really opens our eyes to, hey, this is one Earth out of many, one galaxy out of many, and the universe is constantly expanding. And what would happen, this movie is postulating, if someone larger than Earth comes here, and how would we band together or not? Will we succumb to division? And as that one colonel or the member of the army was talking about, like, historically, any group of power who's trying to rather colonize or employ imperialist tactics, they try to divide and conquer, divide these groups and conquer them individually, because together we are stronger. And I like the call to action here, the call for unity. And this has like an optimistic tone and a message. The messaging here is, the symbolism here is beautiful, dude. And yo, man, my mind is still reeling. Banks and Donnelly were married all along. Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams' acting here is unimpeachable. Every time they're on the screen, it's interesting. The acting choices, interesting. And it's so fitting that the book she wrote, or will write, in the logic of this movie, is called Universal Language. And as someone who is completely absorbed in the idea of language, it's endlessly fascinating how words come to be, the etymology of words, how they develop over time, how the same word can have different meanings, the nuance of language as it evolves from minute to minute, hour to hour, bro. Yeah. That really stimulates me, and it probably always will. And it's moving, this, how we start with the daughter's death, as it were. And her name is Hannah, a palindrome, something that can be read forward and backwards. Not unlike this movie, because this movie has a certain balance, a certain symmetry in itself regarding the chronology of events. So the heptapods come. We don't know what it is. There is relative peace, but we're wondering if it's going to escalate. Then there's a sequence of a period of danger, and then it's back to peace, and then they leave. So, brother, did he write? Hold on, let me see. Did he write this as well? And I need to learn how to. I won't even try to pronounce the director's last name because I don't want to butcher it. Because what with the Dune movies and this one, I don't want to do his name an injustice. Hold on, I'm trying to see his oeuvre here. My bad. I know I shouldn't be doing this in real time, but I am nonetheless. He did the Dune movies and the Blade Runner. I need to watch Blade Runner and Arrival. Oh, I've only seen. Okay, I need to explore his oeuvre. So I've only seen the Dunes and this now, but I appreciate his approach to filmmaking. Now I need to see if he wrote it. My bad. You guys will forgive me, right? You guys will forgive me. My mind is just really intrigued at this moment. Is it written by him? Screenplay based on, okay, it's an adaptation. In any event, you can feel his stamp on this story. Indubitably. I appreciate the sentiment of, what does she say towards the end? Despite knowing how the journey will end up, I embrace it and love it each step of the way. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the general gist. That's the tenor of what Amy Adams's Louise Banks was saying there at the end as she was holding her baby. And the fact that the baby existed, then didn't exist, and then she was communicating with her future self and past self, and all of it was operating under the framework of the same time. That is completely captivating and compelling, artistically and emotionally and psychologically, because like, I'm just trying to be in the writer's room. I have to read this book on which it was based, because to be able to formulate such a plot and execute it and adapt it in this manner is nothing short of outstanding. It is outstanding. Outstanding. I'm going to have to watch this again right now, which is why I'm about to end this prematurely. I could say more, and I probably will reference this in future videos, because this has left an indelible impression upon my aesthetic and upon my brain. So appreciate you watching this with me. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to experience my first time watching Arrival, 2016's addition to the pantheon of cinematic works, right? Or my humble opinion. I don't know what it's ranked on Rotten Tomatoes or the general consensus, but for my money, this is a good day in theater. Like, if you were in 2016 and you bought a movie ticket, this was worth your while. But thank you to all my members here on YouTube and on the Patreon. If you want to support the channel further outside of liking this video, leave me some comments so Mr. Valentine can have some facilitation with the algorithm. You can join me over there on the Patreon. Mr. Valentine Reacts. There I upload unedited, the full length, whole kit and caboodle, the whole shebang, full enchilada and other idioms, figurative language. And I also have exclusive content over there on the Patreon. So if that tickles your fancy, come on in, the water's fine. I appreciate every single one of my members on YouTube and Patreon, specifically the Prestige Worldwide members. Thank you to Russian Paul. Thank you to Russian Paul, DeAndre Flyboy, KDS, Robert M, John M, Thistle Fig, Trevor, Jake M, Andrew C, Marcus S, Ramona, and John Souls. Appreciate you, Prestige Worldwide members. Thank you also to my Superior Cupidity members over there on the Patreon, who select 1 to 2 movies for me to watch per month. V-Dubs, Mega Reacts, and I Like to Stay Home. Specifically for this film, it was chosen by V-Dubs, which I appreciate, because I'm going to be thinking about this film for a long while, I would imagine, because this is marvelous across the board. But this was a spectacular, fantastic, amazing experience for me, and I hope you got some modicum of enjoyment out of it as well. But as always, until we meet again,